Hello students, welcome to online class. Today we are going to discuss Taro's reward. Taro is the name of a sun. It is a Japanese story. In Japan we have so many moral stories. Among all the stories, Taro's reward was one of the moral story which gives some message. What is that message? Let us see. This is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and get some unexpected help. So, Taro's reward. This is a story about a thoughtful and loving son who loves his parents very much and he works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes. And sometimes, unexpectedly, he will get some help from nature as well as God. So, who is Taro? What is the help he will get from God? Let us see. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. Yes, a young woodcutter. So, who cuts the wood? He is woodcutter. Young woodcutter. What is the name of the woodcutter? Taro. Lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long, he chopped wood in the forest. Entire day, what is the work Taro will do? He will chop. Chop means cut into pieces. He will cut the wood into the pieces in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. Though he was working continuously from morning to evening, he was getting a very little amount of money. This made him sad because Taro was the son who always want to fulfill his parent wishes, right, ma? But morning to evening he was doing hard work, but he was not getting enough money, so that's why he was feeling sad. For he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. Yes, he was a woodcutter from morning to evening. He was working hard. Though he was working hard, what is the work he was doing? Cutting, chopping means cutting the wood into pieces in the forest. Though he was working hard, he was getting very little amount of money. So that makes him very sad because he is a thoughtful son. Whatever his parents want to need, his only responsibility was to give that. He want to give whatever the parents needed. So he is Taro. You can observe this picture. He is Taro. Earlier I said that this is a Japanese story. So you can observe by their costumes, by their dressing style. This is Taro and he is father of Taro. He is father of Taro and his Taro's mother. So these three were living lonely on a hillside. So every day Taro used to go to forest. He will go to forest and he'll cut wood into the pieces and he'll earn. Though he was working hard from morning to evening, he earned very little amount of money. He was not satisfied, so he was feeling very sad. Understood, ma? One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. So, in a hillside, Taro and his parents they used to live in hut. So strong wind began to blow. So strong wind began to blow means how the huts will be. It is a roofed slab means it is slab means it was built with a cement and bricks means it is to be strong at the time of wind. But they were living in the forest hillside and that too they were living in hut. So when wind blows, it whistles through the cracks of the hut and everyone felt very cold. It whistled through. Whistled through means passed through with a whistling sound. So how the sound of the wind with a whistling sound passed through with a whistling sound. The cracks means the narrow gaps or openings, narrow gaps or openings of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. When the wind blows, the hut used to be very big. When the wind blows, due to that speed, the hut has some cracks. So inside the hut, who are there? Taro, his mother, and his father. Three of them were felt very cold. Observe this picture, ma. In this picture, when in wind was blowing too fast, how the hut used to be? It used to be strong. It used to be stable. Not at all. So, in the same manner, when the strong wind blows, the hut used to be have some narrow gaps and openings. So, due to that openings, the wind entered into the hut also. So, all of them, the three of them, felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good." So now I am thinking, who was saying these lines? Taro's father. He was saying that now I was thinking, I wish I had a cup of sake. Sake is a popular Japanese drink. So for us, for Indians, we have so many drinks when we feel cold. To make us warm, we'll drink some tea, coffee, milk, or green tea. In that way, different types of drinks will be there for our Indians. In the same manner, for Japanese, when they feel cold, they want to drink sake to make themselves warm. So in the same manner, Taro's father also thought that he want to drink a sake, a popular Japanese drink. See, this is Segma. This is a sake, a popular Japanese drink. As I discussed earlier, this is a Japanese story which gives some moral, some message. So, Japanese drink, it would warm me and do my old heart good. So, by drinking this sake, I can feel warm. At the same time, my heart will feel good. In that way, Taro's father wished. So, what will happen? Is Taro was willing to bring that sake? Let us see. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heart-warming drink called sake was very expensive. As we discussed earlier, Taro working very hard from morning to evening, but he was getting very little amount of money. So when Taro's father asked that he want to drink some sake, Taro felt very sad because that sake was very expensive. Expensive means costly. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. So my father asked sake. How can I earn more money? How can I get that sake for my father? In that way, he thought, he was thinking himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? How can I get that little sake for my poor old father? I have to work hard more and more. In that way, he thought. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. Next day, immediately, Taro woke up early in the morning and he went to forest, and also he thought that this day I want to work more hard. So he chopped here way to, made his way to means went to. He went to forest. Regularly he will go to forest on after 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. But this day he thought that he want to be little bit earlier, so that he went to the forest at 5 o'clock itself. He chopped and cut and chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. So continuously he was cutting the wood into pieces, cutting the wood into pieces. Continuously he was working hard, and the sun, due to sunrise, he was not able to. He was feeling so warm, and that's why he was feeling suffocating. So that's why he removed his jacket and again continued his work, that cutting the wood into the pieces. Observe this picture. So observe this, as imagine this was Taro, and he went into the forest to cut the wood into pieces. But due to sun, heavy sun, he was feeling suffocating. Due to that warm, he was not able to wear all his clothes. He removed his take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought. So when we went outside in sunrise, how we'll feel? We'll feel very cool. No, we'll feel thirsty and tired. Our body will filled with the sweat. We'll feel thirsty and we want to remove our clothes. We want to fresh up. We want to take bath. Different types of feeling will be there. Finally, we will feel some suffocating. In the same manner, Taro was continuously working and he thought that, oh, my poor old father, he thought, if only he was warm as I. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. Yes, he was feeling, my poor old father, your blood must be warm. So that's why he thought in that way, by thinking that up to now he was very suffocating due to the sunrise. He was feeling thirsty and his face was wet with sweat in that way. But when he thought about his father's situation, no, I want to work more and more, I want to earn more and more money, I want to make my parents to drink that sack to keep there, to warm the old people's bones. In that way, he was thinking. See, then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it be? Could it possibly be rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in the part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hands and he ran in the direction of the sound. Suddenly, Taro stopped chopping. So he was continuously, from morning onwards, he was continuously chopping. The only thing in his mind that I want to chop more wood, I want to earn more money, and I want to bring that sack to make my parents happy. In that way, he was feeling. But suddenly he stopped choking. What happened means he heard some sound. Could it be possible? It is the sound of rushing water, because he was feeling thirsty due to the sweat, due to the hard work which was doing, due to the sunrise. He was not able to continue his work and he was feeling thirsty. Rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. He heard rushing stream. You can observe this picture, ma. This was a rushing stream. Rushing stream. Of course, when we are beside to this place, we can clearly hear that sound. Okay, we can clearly hear that sound. So Thora also heard that sound, and he dropped the axe out of his hands and he ran into the direction of the sound. Tara saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was a delicious sake instead of cold water. Yes, finally, he dropped his axe and he went and he ran through the direction of the sound. Finally, he saw a beautiful little waterfall. Observe this picture, ma. This is the waterfall behind the rocks. So after seeing this waterfall, kneeling at a place. Kneeling means this is the position. This is one of the sitting position. Kneeling. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands. Means took some water in his hand as if in a cup. So whenever we used to drink some water in tap, means we used to drink in this way, isn't it, ma? So in the same manner, he used to cup a little in his hand and put it in his lips. Put it in his lips in this way. So he thought that, was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. Delicious means very tasty. From that hills, from that river water, what we expect? Only cold water, right? But Taro feels that that water was tasting like a sake. Sake, you are able to remember that sake? As Taro's father was willing to drink that sake to make his body warm, isn't it? So for that sake only, Taro was working hard to earn more money and bring that steak because it was expensive. So he was tasting it again and again. Is it cold water or steak? Is it cold water or steak? But it was very delicious, very tasty steak. Taro will quickly fill the pitcher. Pitcher means a pot usually made of mud. So you can observe this picture. So this is picture. Taro was having this picture. Clearly you can observe here a pot which usually made of mud. He had with him and hurried home. Immediately he filled the pitcher and he hurried to home. The old man was delighted with the snake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. Yes, he immediately took some of the, filled the pitcher with that snake and he went to home. Yeah, the old man was really delighted, really felt very happy after having one swallow of steak. He felt, he stopped shivering. Until now, the old parents of Taro used to shiver. Why? Because due to strong wind, that keeps some cracks and holes in the hut. So that wind makes the old parents shivering. So to stop that shivering, to make their bodies warm, Taro was working hard to bring that sake. Sake is one of the Japanese drink. If they drink that sake means their bodies will become warm. So that's why they thought that they want to drink. So here until now Taro's parents used to shiver due to coldness, heavy coldness. But after having one drop of sake, he was having a little bit of dance in the middle of the floor. Means he was feeling such energetic. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. Yes, went into the one of the neighbor stopped for a visit in front of Taro's home. So of course, when any one of the neighbor on their way, they when visit our home, for sure our parents they'll offer some tea or coffee in that way, right, ma? So in the same manner, Taro's neighbor or one of the neighbors stopped in front of Taro's house. Means Taro's father politely offered cup of snake. The lady drank it greedily. Greedily means as if desiring more and more. Drinking and again more and more, more and more, more and more. She was drinking more and more and thanked the old man for the delicious drink. She left in a hurry. But by night time, from morning to evening, she spread and Taro also explained what was happened. The neighbor also made surprised how it possible for these poor people to get this delicious steak. In that way, that neighbor felt. So immediately Taro explained about magic waterfall. Immediately she thanked for giving the delicious steak and she went into the village and she spread the word to the entire village. For the entire village, she spread the word. See what happened next. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. So, by the evening, long procession means large crowd of members and visitors were in front of woodcutter's house. Who is woodcutter here? Of course, Taro. In front of the woodcutter house, each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake, and in less than an hour the pitch was empty. So Taro bought in that pitcher like the pot which is made of mud. So within 1 hour the pitcher was empty. So all of them were asking about magic waterfall and they were taking one sip of sake, and within 1 hour the pitcher was empty. Next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. Next morning, Taro's regular thing was early morning waking up and he want to go to work. What is the work he will do? Chopping the wood. So in the forest. So next morning also, as usual, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned. For he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. So this time he thought that he kept largest picture, means that is that mug, whatever the largest picture he have, he took that picture and first he thought, he planned, I want to go to waterfall first, I want to fill this picture, then only I am going to work. In that way he planned. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. So when he went to the waterfall, he felt surprised because all the neighbors who drank one sip of steak in the Taro's house, they went to the waterfall. They went to the magic waterfall. Taro was surprised. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic stake. So here you can observe these pictures. Some of them they were carrying some of the pitchers and buckets and jars, whatever the things they have to fill that magical sake. They bought all the things. Then one villager knelt. Knelt means I already said it is a one of the position, kneeling. Huh? Kneeled, knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. So one of the villager, what he done? He went to the that waterfall and opened his mouth under the waterfall to drink. In that way, when water is falling, in that way he used to drink. He drank again and again, and then shouted angrily, "Water! Nothing but water!" Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. See, when all the villagers were trying to drink that magical sake, they thought that they believe what is the story said by Taro about the magic sake. So they thought it was a sake, and continuous they started continuously drinking that sake. They thought it was sake, but it was water. One of the men shouted angrily that water, nothing but water. By these words, remaining villagers also tried. They also drank the same water. There is no sake. See what happened. Is there Taro done any magic there? Let us see. We have been tricked, shouted the villagers. Where is Taro? Let us drown him in in this waterfall. But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going. He was nowhere to be found. So finally, all the villagers thought, no, we have been tricked by Taro. Where is Taro? We have to find Taro. We want to drown him in this waterfall. But Taro had silently, somehow wise enough, he slipped behind a rock. See, here is you can observe the Taro picture. So he is Taro. Just he was observing all the situations near the waterfall behind the rock. So he was how the things were going on. He was observing, but he nowhere to be found. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Muttering means speaking unclearly. They were disappointed. Somehow they were disappointed. They thought that it was expensive sake, and somehow they felt anger on Taro and they felt disappointed, speaking continuously unclearly. One by one, they were leaving that place. Taro came out from his hiding place. When all of them left that place, Taro came out from hiding place slowly. When all of them were clear in that place, was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. Yes, now you can understand, ma. After everyone left that place, Taro went slowly from the hiding place. Is it really is not sick? Yesterday I drank from this waterfall only. I drank same sake, and my parents also used to drink that sake. But they are saying this is water. He want to test again. Again he put some water into the lake. Again it was a tasty snake. Yes, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake for the thoughtful son, and for the remaining to everyone else in that village, greedy people in the village, it gave only cold water. It gave only cold water. Now you understood, ma? So he was working hard for his parents. So that's why the magical waterfall gave sake only for the Taro's family. The story of the Toro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. So this story was listened by Emperor of Japan, and he called the woodcutter and rewarded him 20 pieces of gold for having been so kind and good. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. So for beautiful fountain in that city, he named after Taro. This, said the emperor, was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. So why the emperor gave and encouraged Taro by giving some gold coins and naming one of the beautiful rain fountain in the city as Taro means to encourage all the children means by this issue so many people they'll think that yes, if we are doing some good to our parents, if we are listening to our parents, if we are working hard for our parents means definitely we will be honored, we will be gifted, we will get some things as a gift from nature or from God. So to give some encouragement for the children, emperor announced this for all the children. This is about our story Taro's reward. I hope you understood. Once again, I'll briefly summarize Taro's reward. So, once they lived a woodcutter named Taro with his parents lonely in a hillside. Suddenly, one day, a strong wind blew. So, due to that strong wind, the hut where the Toro family was living, that hut was damaged. So finally, through the cracks, all the wind went into the hut. So the parents of Taro felt very cold. So Taro's father asked that he want to drink sake, which makes his body so warm. So in that way he thought. Then Taro thought sake is a very expensive because they were poor people. Taro used to work hard from morning to evening. He used to get very little amount of money. So he used to work hard. He thought that I want to work more and more work hard. So then I can earn money. Further with that money I can bring sake for my parents. In that way he thought. Finally he went. He woke up 5 o'clock in the morning. He went into the forest. He continuously chopping and chopping. So with the sunrise he was not able to survive. He was feeling very thirsty. His face was filled with sweat. He took out of his jacket. Suddenly, he heard one of the rushing water sound. He dropped his axe there and he ran through the sound. There he find beautiful small little waterfall behind the rocks. He found that waterfall and he kneeled down and he cupped that water and he kept to the lips and it tastes like it was sake. He drank again and again to confirm whether it was sake or whether it was cold water. Instead of cold water, he tasted that as a snake. Immediately he filled the pitcher. Pitcher means the pot which was made with mud. He filled the pitcher. He ran to the home and he made their parents to drink that sake. After sipping one drop of sake, Taro's father felt very energetic. He stopped shivering and he started dancing on the floor. So suddenly, one of the neighbor, when he was going through Taro's house, he stopped in front of Taro's house, and Taro's father offered some sake for the lady. So she drank it very greedily, and after leaving that, and she also thanked to Tharo's family for making her to taste that delicious shake. Immediately, she went to the village and she spread the entire village about this magical waterfall. Of course, when she was drinking, Taro explained about the magical waterfall. She spread the entire village about this magic waterfall. Suddenly, all the villagers came into the woodcutter's house, and within 1 hour, everyone take a sip of shake. Within 1 hour, the pitcher was empty. Next day, Taro thought that when I'm going to work, my first thing was he planned that he want to um, fill the pitcher. He took the biggest pitcher which he had. He took that pitcher. I want to fill this pitcher. In that way, he thought. When he went to the waterfall, when he reached the waterfall, he saw all the villagers were gathered here. One of the villagers went to the waterfall and he tasted the water, and he said that water. Taro deceived us. Taro tricked us. Where is Taro? Find Taro. We want to drown him in this waterfall. In that way, villagers got very angry. But here Taro was somehow wisely, he was staying behind the rock and he's observing the situation, each and every situation, what is going on there. So all the villagers, they were muttering angrily, and some of them were disappointed. They were one by one leaving after knowing that this magical water was giving only cold water. They leave that waterfall, and slowly one by one they were going. So finally, Taro went there after all the people left. Taro went there and he tasted again. It was sick. Means that magical waterfall gave Taro thoughtful son. He was thoughtful son. So that's why magical waterfall gave Taro sake, and reminding everyone, magical waterfall gave only cold water. By hearing this situation, this issue, Emperor of Japan, he gave 20 gold coins, and he was also named one of the beautiful fountain in the city after Taro, to encourage the children to obey his parents, to be so kind, so good. So children, you also listen to your parents. Means if you are taking care about your parents, means if you are loving your parents, means for sure God will bless you. Got it, ma? How Taro was benefited with magical waterfall. Someday you will also benefit with some magical elements. I hope you understood. Let us discuss the question and answers. Why did Taro run in the direction of stream? Means because he could not remember ever seeing a hearing rushing stream in the part of the forest. So that's why he thought he felt thirsty. Immediately he ran through the stream. How did Taro further show his happiness after drinking sake? This will be in paragraph 7. After drinking one drop of sake, he started dancing on the middle of the floor. So how? Little dance. He stopped shivering and started. Why did the waterfall give Taro sakes and other water? Taro was thoughtful son who obeyed his parents, while others were greedy. So that's why waterfall gave Taro sake and others water. Why did the villagers want to drown Taro? Because they thought that Taro tricked them. They thought that he had tricked. Why did the emperor reward Taro? Taro honored and obeyed his parents, so that the emperor rewarded Taro. If you understood, children, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. Hari Om. Thank you.